Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new, I'm Katie and welcome to another bookish adventure. So, you may notice one horrifically startling difference, and yes, I have no makeup on this morning, and that is because I thought I would do this video a little bit differently. I have thought about doing this before but never did, because it was more trying to get the setup right actually, and also being confident enough to do this. But because I've done enough vlogs now, I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna do a get ready with me whilst discussing 5 new releases that I like the look of, and I'm probably gonna put my TV out and probably will buy, because let's face it, I have absolutely no self-control. So first up, I need to pin back this because I hate my hair on my face and I need to concentrate. So my actual mirror is here, so I'm gonna do my best to look and talk the correct way. I'm still gonna go for an eyeshadow look because it's a Saturday and I have more time to get ready, and I thought I would go for something like gold because, you know, I can work with gold. Looks like my natural skin tone, so I was like, we can do that. So let us discuss books as best as one can whilst doing this. So my plan will be that I'm pretty much gonna just read the synopsis off Goodreads and make it less confusing than me trying to figure out and remember every single thing, which, let's face it, will go wrong. So the first book that I have is Gilded by Marissa Meyer, and the second I saw this, I was like, well, I'm clearly gonna buy this because this is a Rumpelstiltskin inspired retelling, and I don't think I've ever come across a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, ever. I was just like, oh my god, this, yes, finally something different. So this is the author of the Lunar Chronicles and Heartless, the Red Queen Alice in Wonderland inspired one. I adore the Lunar Chronicles, I really do. It's one of my favorite retellings ever. However, really didn't like Heartless. I was just ashamed because I was crazy excited for it. Was so thrilled because it was from the Red Queen, not Alice, so I thought, this is cool, this is fun, this is different, and it just, yeah, I didn't get on with them. So the plot for Gilded. Long ago, cursed by the gods of lies, a poor miller's daughter has developed a talent for spinning stories that are fantastic, spellbinding, and entirely untrue, or so everyone believes. When one of Cylinder's outlandish tales draws the attention of the sinister Earl King and his undead hunters, she finds herself swept away into a grim world where ghouls and phantoms prowl the earth and hollow-eyed ravens track her every move. The king orders Cylinder to complete an impossible task of spinning straw into gold, or be killed for telling falsehoods. In her desperation, Cylinder unwittingly summons a mysterious boy to her aid. He agrees to help her for a price, but love isn't meant to be part of the bargain. Soon, Cylinder realizes there is more than one secret hidden in the castle walls, including the ancient curse that must be broken if she hopes to end the tyranny of the king and his wild hunt forever. So I think this is a duology. I at least hope it's a duology. I can't keep getting sucked into trilogies. My life is series heavy, and I'm trying to find more duologies and more singles to read. But yeah, this just looks and sounds really fun, really different, and also, yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I ever saw a Rumpelstiltskin inspired one. I don't think I really have, or if I have, it just hasn't been enough to grab my attention really. So I know if you look on Goodreads, there is already a second book there, so it is definitely at least a duology. The second I saw this book existed, I was like, oh my god, I have to buy this. Oh, look at that, I'm starting to look more human now. I have proper eyebrows, although I need to sort whatever that is. Okay, so brows are done for the time being. Next, one must prime the eyelids, and we will move on to the next book. So next up we have Colour of Dragons. This one is I've seen nothing about this book. I literally came across this book on Bookstagram and I've only seen it once, and I've never really seen it since. However, I won't lie, the cover got my attention, I will be honest with you, and then obviously I looked into it because I thought, hello. So this is more of an Arthur, the Legend of Arthur prequel, so I think it's going to explore maybe where magic came from, but it's also going to have, I think, the origins of Merlin and stuff. And yeah, I think it sounds just really interesting. I don't read a lot of magic wielding high fantasy dragon type things. It's one of these weird things. I adore fantasy. It is one of my favorites to watch, but to read, well, high fantasy to read, I don't. I think I get very intimidated by it because it's serious and deep and like holy shit, and that's not me. And I think my concentration, I need to see stuff sometimes when it's that confusing to be able to like process it and understand what's going on, and even then I don't know what's going on. So The Colour of Dragon. So this is a dual book by, I say dual books, dual written, I don't know what I'm talking about, by R.A. Salvador and Erica Lewis. Magic needs a spark, and Maggie's powers are especially fickle, with no one to help her learn to control her magic, and a life debt that she owes stretched eternally over her head with no way to repay it. Until she meets Griffin, the King's champion, infamous for hunting down the I think this is Dragonox that plague their kingdom. Neither has any idea of the destiny that they both carry, or that their meeting will set off a chain of events that will alter every aspect of the life that they know and all history therefore after. So that is where the whole Legends of Arthur comes in. I know I said I was going to stick to gold and do something simple, but I can see pretty dark colours and I'm like, ooh, girl wants to play with those. Yeah, I'm just really intrigued by this. I just don't read enough fantasy, and Merlin was one of my favourite TV shows. I've actually gone back to watch it because I don't think I ever watched it from the start, so I wanted to, and I don't know why I've decided to do this, because the fifth and final is absolutely heartbreaking. It just absolutely ripped my soul out, and of course they decided to air that at Christmas. But I actually haven't read many Arthur inspired books, which I think is actually really strange because there's actually quite a lot. And I think I just dabbed the wrong colour, shit. I've seen quite a lot of Arthur inspired books, and so I'm quite surprised that yeah, I haven't picked one up yet, especially at least not like a Guinevere based one. I think now's an interesting time, and maybe reading this will kind of get me to think, oh, you know what, yeah, let's try an Arthur inspired one. But yeah, I like the idea of this being a prequel, and yeah, sort of seeing the world before their influence and before Merlin's like great ability. Part of me thinks that we should be going like gold, like that pretty gold, but there's that dark one. So far on the listings on Goodreads, that is just coming up as a standalone, and I hope it does remain a standalone because I really enjoy a standalone. I want more of them in my life, and also I just think that they can just, I don't know, they can sometimes just overwhelm you and just leave you like, oh my god. So next up is The Little Thieves, and this is by Margaret Owens. You may know this author. She did the Merciful Crow duology, which is on my TBR, but I also still haven't read because it's standard. I really like the sound of this one. This is a retelling of Goose Girl, and I don't think I have read that classic yet. I think that one is still on my TB. Can you tell I'm like vaguely regretting my decision to go dark, but the brush is in, so it's happening. You know what we might do? We might go like light gold at the front, and it won't look too heavy. Once upon a time, there was a horrible girl. Vanya Schmidt knows that no gift is freely given, not even a mother's love, and she's on the hook for one hell of a debt. Vanya, the adopted goddaughter of Death and Fortune, was Princess Giselle's dutiful servant up until a year ago. That was when Vanya's otherworldly mothers demand a terrible price for their care, and Vanya decides to steal her fortune back by stealing Giselle's life for herself. The real Giselle is left a penniless nobody, while Vanya uses an enchanted string of pearls to take her place. Now, Vanya leads a lonely but lucrative double life as a princess and a jewel thief, charming the nobility while emptying their coffers to fund her great escape. But then, one heist away from freedom, Vanya crosses the wrong god and is cursed to an untimely end, turning into jewels stone by stone for her greed. Vanya has just 2 weeks to figure out how to break her curse and make a getaway, and with a vengeful guardian half-god, Giselle's sinister fiance, and an overeager junior detective on Vanya's tail, she'll have to pull the biggest grift yet to save her own life. So this, again, I believe is another... Oh, is this a duology? I'm pretty sure this is a duology. I really like the sound of it. I like this idea of, yeah, this sort of morally grey and corrupt person, and sort of, I think the idea is that it's like a bad girl book, but I'm sure we will find, you know, we come to love her and, you know, understand her circumstances that have put her in this position. Oh, this may be too gold. I may have effed this up entirely. Yeah, I just really like the sound of it. In the minute, because I saw her Instagram, or I think I saw the publishers that she's with were like sharing stuff to do with it, and she was kind of doing like a countdown, and she was doing like posts on like a character bio for each person and with an illustration, and that's what caught my eye. And I thought, oh my god, I was like, this is really cool, this is really fun and really interesting. And then yeah, I looked into it more and saw that she had written those books, and I just, yeah, the idea of it just really caught my attention. I just just really love the idea of it. Okay, so eyes are done. It is time to sort this out so I don't look like a dead body anymore that was like, you know, been dolled up by someone, Shelby. I'm aware I should probably be like, this is what I'm using, but we don't own the concentration skills to do that. Well, we do, but this video will be a hell of a lot longer because I'll start talking about makeup and not books. So the next book I'm bringing you is by Natasha Bowen, and that is The Skin of the Sea. I think this is a duology when I was looking into it. I'm sure I read the words duology, and this is a West African mythology inspired Little Mermaid, so I'm here for that. I don't have enough mermaid books in my life, and I have done this year, I've been reading more books by Black authors. I've read a lot more, I think, West African inspired. I think I've only had a couple of Caribbean ones. I don't think that's not like by choice or anything, that's just happened to be the plot of the books. Okay, right, colour correcting is done. A way to survive, a way to serve, a way to save. Simi prayed to the gods once, and now she serves them as, I think it's Mami Wata, a mermaid, collecting the souls of those who've died at sea and blessing their journeys back home. But then a living boy is thrown overboard and Simi does the unthinkable. She saves his life, going against the ancient decree, and punishment awaits those who dare to defy it. To protect the other mermaids, Simi must journey to the Supreme Creator to make amends, but something is amiss. There's the boy she rescues, who knows more than he should, and something is shadowing Simi, something that would rather see her fail. Danger lurks at every turn, and as Simi draws closer, she must brave vengeful gods, treacherous lands, and legendary creatures, because if she doesn't, then she risks not only the fate of all Mamaweti, but also the world as she knows it. I just really like the sound of this. I haven't come across enough mermaid books as it is, but the fact that I found a black inspired West African mythology inspired one is just really like, ooh, hello. Like, I really like the idea of it. I mean, to be honest, things like, you know, sirens, mermaids and all that just really attract me. I just think there's such a cool mythology that goes with them as it is. But yeah, this just sounds, I like the idea of that quite possibly this like ancient creator could sort of double as like your sort of, you got to remember to do your neck, guys, you can't have a tide mark, as my colleague at work tells me. She likes to call it a tide mark. So if I'm ever unsure that I've done the foundation well, I'm like, tide mark. Yeah, I just think it's a really cool and different take on it, and I also appreciate it not being a standalone. I know I'm like, your girl needs more standalones. However, I think with quite possibly the world building that could come into this and like the mythology that's going to be in this, I think that yeah, it actually probably needs to be a duology just to give you that extra kind of So I actually think I only have one book left, so this is going to be a really short get ready with me, which is just apparently just going to cover my eyes and base apparently, so sorry about that. I didn't want to pick too many books because I mean it takes me like half an hour to do my makeup anyway, and obviously filming videos it can take like 20 minutes, 15 minutes depending on what I'm doing, and so I was like, this is going to take me like a lot longer to do this, to obviously try and talk and also try and do my makeup that is like fine for work. I thought 5 was a good amount. If you sort of like this video, then I will do more of them. Oh, nice save. Okay, so next we must conceal that hell. So the next book is, I think, I want to say it's quite unlike what I would normally read, but actually when I've reread the synopsis I was like, you know what, it's probably quite up my alley. Blendy. Get rid of those bags and make it look like that I actually sleep. Look at that, I don't look I'm dead anymore. Okay, I'm gonna powder my face because I can't talk and powder at the same time. So this is the stage where I now look like a corpse with rigor mortis because I got absolutely no skin texture at all. But that's what the setting spray is for after I've powdered the crap out of my face. So this is a Chinese inspired mythology book, and again, like I said, ever since reading Rub of the Sands, I just wanted to read more mythology based books, and I've done a lot more Middle Eastern, and then obviously, like I said, I've had more black inspired ones. I haven't had enough Chinese ones, or just like that sort of, yeah, Asian Oriental like culture. So I'm trying to find more, and I'm finding more, and good god, they have beautiful covers. I think her name is pronounced Sinjing. I asked mum and she's very good at pronunciations. Growing up on the moon, Sinjin is accustomed to solitude, unaware that she's being hidden from the feared celestial emperor who exiled her mother for stealing his elixir of immortality. When Sinjin's magic flares and her existence is discovered, she's forced to flee her home, leaving her mother behind. Alone, powerless and afraid, she makes her way to the Celestial Kingdom, a land of wonder and secrets. Disguising her identity, she seizes an opportunity to learn alongside the Emperor's son, mastering archery and magic, even as the passion flames between her and the prince. To save her mother, Sinjin embarks on a perilous quest, confronting legendary creatures and vicious enemies across the earth and skies. But when treachery looms and forbidden magic threatens the kingdom, she must challenge the ruthless celestial empire for her dream, striking a dangerous bargain in which she will be torn into losing all that she loves or plunging the realm into chaos. I'm so excited for this. So as far as I'm aware, the moon goddess, it's like changed with apostrophe in Isa Shanji? I don't know. Her mother, I think there are existing like stories based on her, so I'm going with that. The moon goddess is the moon goddess is clearly obviously some sort of mythology story type thing, contour, and this is like from her daughter's perspective and like her daughter's stories. I don't know how much of her mother will actually be involved in this. I don't really know why I'd bother contouring, because I don't go all out with it. I just really do like the bare minimum, mostly because I'm afraid that I will obviously have two massive brown stripes down my face. So this is another duology, so very happy and excited about that. It is a romance one, but I don't know how heavily the romance features in it. But I mean, I like a romance driven book. Your girl likes a bit of romance. She can't help herself. She got sass back for it. But yeah, I don't know what it was about this book that when I initially found it, I did just think this seems just really different to what I normally read, and just seems, yeah, I don't know, which I don't actually think it is, like the whole, you know, forbidden love, hiding in secret, magic. I think just when I first found it, I just thought, oh, and I think the fact it seemed different also really drew it to me as well. I need to stop like doing my makeup in the camera because it's not the same as what I can see here. So next we need to set my damn eyebrows because they're a mess. But that is it for all 5 books that I wanted to discuss. There are a few more that I've seen, but they are sort of sequels to other books. So, oh, look at that, my brows are beautiful. So we need to do some inner eye highlight. So I'm gonna go gold, but I already have gold on, although it looks more bronze. I don't know really how it looks on there, but I'm thinking of going like proper like white gold. So I've got that one, or I've got that one. Just gonna pop that on there. Oh, hello. So that is it for this video. I'm not gonna like keep going and do the rest of my makeup on camera, because what would be the point of that? You would just be watching extra footage that you don't need to bother with. I'm actually pretty happy with how this video has turned out, I think, so I will probably do another one of these. I think before my issue was like, yeah, setting up a camera and getting it in the right place, but I actually think this has worked. I mean, I could be wrong. I could watch back the footage and just be like, where's my highlighter? This is terrible because I'm not facing the camera enough, or I'm not doing whatever. So I think this is, yeah, going to be a learning curve, I think, for me, if I want to do more of these. But I like the idea of it. It feels a lot more informal and a lot more casual. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Thumbs up and let me know, especially in the comments. Let me know if you like the idea of this. My belly just rumbled. I'm really sorry if you heard that. Also, let me know what you think of these books. Have you heard of any of these? Are you going to add any of them over to your TBR? And of course, let me know any new releases that you've heard of and you think that I might be interested in. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you in the next one.